Growing up in the 80s and 90s was a unique experience filled with cultural quirks and fears that often seem humorous in hindsight. From fictional villains to everyday occurrences, here's a light-hearted look at 10 things that kids of this era were comically afraid of. 1. Clowns. While clowns were meant to bring joy, many kids found them downright terrifying. The painted faces, exaggerated features, and unpredictable behavior turned harmless entertainers into figures of fear, thanks to movies like It and countless creepy encounters at birthday parties. 2. The dark. The fear of the dark was a universal childhood fear, but in the 80s and 90s, it took on a life of its own. With vivid imaginations fueled by horror movies and urban legends, many kids believed monsters lurked under the bed or in the closet, ready to jump out at any moment. 3. Freddy Krueger. With his bladed glove and haunting presence, Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street left many kids terrified of falling asleep. The idea that a villain could invade your dreams was a terrifying thought, leading to late-night fears of nightmares becoming reality. 4. Belly button lint. Believe it or not, some kids had a genuine fear of belly button lint. The notion that this small collection of fuzz could somehow invade their bodies or become a source of illness had kids checking their belly buttons frequently and avoiding tight clothing. 5. Alien abduction. The idea of being abducted by aliens was a common fear fueled by shows like The X-Files and the infamous Area 51 conspiracy theories. Kids would often lay awake at night, convinced they might be whisked away by little green men. 6. The Tooth Fairy. While the Tooth Fairy is typically seen as a benevolent figure, some kids were convinced this magical being was actually a creepy collector who wanted their teeth for sinister purposes. The idea of a stranger sneaking into their room for a tooth made many kids uneasy. 7. Swamp monsters. Inspired by horror movies and folklore, many kids in the 80s and 90s feared swamp monsters lurking in local ponds or marshes. The idea that a creature could drag them under the water was both thrilling and terrifying, leading to some over-the-top caution during summer outings. 8. Dolls. Dolls were meant to be friends, but the 80s and 90s brought us some terrifying examples, like Chucky from Child's Play. The thought of an innocent-looking doll coming to life and wreaking havoc kept many kids on edge, making them wary of their own toy collection. 9. The Big Bad Wolf. Fairy tales like Little Red Riding Hood introduced children to the idea of the Big Bad Wolf. The notion that a seemingly charming character could be hiding dark intentions made some kids genuinely fearful of wolves, both in stories and in the wild. 10. Bad haircuts. Let's be honest, kids in the 80s and 90s had some questionable hairstyles. The fear of getting a terrible haircut, especially when trends changed so rapidly, led to many kids worrying about showing up to school with a hairstyle that would haunt them for years. These fears may seem silly now, but they were very real to the kids who lived through them. The 80s and 90s were a time of unique cultural experiences that shaped our childhoods, providing plenty of memories to laugh about today.